Hello. So, in this one, I'm going to talk about hardiness. Hope you can read this. Just understanding what hardiness is. So hardiness is a rating given to plants depending on the temperature range which they can tolerate and which they thrive. They're given both a temperature range, a category, and then there's a definition. So what I'm going to do on this one is just quickly go through the definitions of each different hardiness rating, which will hopefully give you a bit of understanding about what sort of plants to look for depending on the environment you can give them. Right, so we'll start at the top. We've got rating is H1A, hardiness 1A. Temperature range that tolerates is above 15 degrees Celsius, and it's in the tropical category, which really it'd be heated greenhouse tropical. By definition, that means it wants to be under glass all year round. So under glass in your greenhouse, heated, very warm heated greenhouse above 15 degrees Celsius. Generally a high humidity because it's tropical. Moving on is H1B, which is the 10 to 15 degrees Celsius range. It's subtropical, which means it'd suit a heated greenhouse still, but it can be grown outdoors in summer. In hotter, sunny, sheltered places. So if you're in the towns and cities, in a sheltered garden, in a garden that's sort of built with more plants around it, that'll give it shelter, you know, that kind of thing. But generally they perform better under glass. Moving on, H1C, the 5 to 10 degrees Celsius range. They like a heated temperature to a warm temperature. They're classed as warm temperature plants. They can grow outside in summer through most of the year, and through most of the UK, sorry. So our area, warmer bits of summer, warmer spring, warmer summer, protect them from autumn, because we're up north. So the daytime temperatures need to be high enough to promote the growth rather than just to keep them alive. So you need to put them out when the frost's over, not while there's any risk of frost. They won't survive there. It's warm temperatures only. Most bedding plants, tomatoes, cucumbers, outdoor stuff that you've got to harden off, and the seasonal is generally a warm temperature plant. So that's the H1 categories, which all thrive in warm temperatures. H2 is 1 to 5 degrees Celsius. They are tender, so they prefer cool and frost-free greenhouses. So not your heated greenhouses, not your fleece-lined greenhouses and, you know, massively insulated. Just a cool greenhouse. As long as there's no frost, they'll be fine. H2s. They tolerate low temperatures, but they won't survive being frozen. Generally, they won't go anywhere where there's frost at the time. So inner cities, you know, coastal extremities, you won't get away with them. So you won't get away with them until there's no frost. Low temperatures like now, if there's no more frost risk, that'll be fine. H3, which is the 1 to -5 range. They're half hardy, so they can take unheated greenhouses in a mild winter, but they can tolerate being outside in a mild winter also. They survive well around here. They're hardy in our areas, in most of the UK as well, except for severe winters and when there's sudden frosts. So if they're young seedlings and they go out in the frost, no good for them. H4 is the -5 to -10 range. They're hardy. They'll stand our average winter outside. So most of the country, you still got to be careful up here and at places at this altitude, because we can get colder winters still. But for an average winter, H4. So H4 and above. So H4 and below, should I say, not above. will survive around here pretty much without a fault. Outside, indoors, you're looking up here, down here you're looking at your outdoors. H5, your -10 to -15 range. They class them as hardy. So they're hardy for cold winters rather than the average winter. They'll take a bit more cold to them and survive. So in pretty severe winters, they'll be fine. I mean, we haven't had it much colder than, you know, -10. In the past few years, -15 would be a real push. So if you're going to exceed that, then, you know, you'll be looking further north than maybe like sort of Newcastle way. Once you get north of the border and start getting up colder, so that'll take hardy cold, hardy very cold. That's Northern Europe areas, you know, -15 to -20 degrees Celsius. That's H6. So they'll survive right up in the Highlands and everything. Mostly woody and herbaceous plants, so a lot of your alpines, a lot of your woody plants, trees, things that will survive the cold. That's your very cold there. Stuff that's almost Arctic plants, but that'll be H7, very hardy. They're the most severe European climates. So you're looking at the Arctic, you're looking at really high altitudes. They're also herbaceous and, you know, herbaceous and woody continental plants. So they will survive the real extreme colds. H1A, like extreme hot. H7, extreme cold. If you're putting a H7 plant in your house, you're doing something wrong. I'd say if you're putting anything above a H4 in your house, unless it's really serious winter, you know, something wrong there. Your half hardies, a lot of people have on the windowsill, but they'll put them out in summer. And then once you're looking H2 to H1A, they're your inside plants. So hopefully that's give you an idea of hardiness. There are European, there are US ratings for all of these, but we don't really use them. You might hear people say about Grow Zone 8 to 8A being us, which is like your cold winter stuff, your H5s, but realistic, we sit between here when it comes to summer, H3 and H4, and you get lucky with tender. These are the low temperature ranges, by the way, so obviously, you know, this can tolerate less than -20, this can't tolerate anything less than 15. So you're looking at the US ratings would be 13, 12, 11, 10B would be 9B, 10A, 8B, 9A, 7B, 8A, 6B, 7A, so we sit around here in the 8 roughly, and then H7 would be 6A to 1, so that's the US ones, but they don't really mean much to me. The H ratings make total sense to me, because they have a good temperature range. There's one rating, some of these cover more than one rating you see in US. Well, hopefully that helps you understand hardiness. So again, thanks for watching, hope it's been a useful video. Have a nice night.